Well, as is usual, there's a lot to cover. We have a little bit more information on the Markle versus Markle lawsuit. We have more information on Princess Anne, what's going on with King Charles, oh my goodness, and South Park, as well as another bit of information that I was very happy to see that I hope you guys will be happy to see as well. So let's just jump in with both feet and get there, shall we? Let's go. As we are aware, Princess Anne is in New Zealand. You know, she went since the cyclone. They've had to change up a little bit of what she's doing. But here she is holding hands with an equestrian and presents rosettes to other riders during a visit to the Riding for the Disabled Association in Wellington, New Zealand. This took place on February 16th. And of course, her fabulous husband, Sir Tim Lawrence, was there as well. Now, if you guys remember yesterday, I told you that the article had called her quintessential Anne because of her hairstyle. One of my subscribers then sent me these photos basically showing Anne throughout the years in the same hairstyle. Well, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. She looks great in it. And of course, the tiaras look lovely on her head framed by her hair. Love it. All right, let's move on from Anne. Next up, the Prince's Trust is putting out awards. Here is the NatWest Business Enterprise Award winners, Laura and Liz. Here's another success story, Vix, who was having some mental health issues. And with help from the Prince's Trust, she's now the owner of a photography business. These are the kind of stories I love. And here are a few more winners of the UK Awards County Final for the Prince's Trust. Obviously, as you can see, they're doing really, really good work. This is the stuff I love. All right, let's move on. Sticking with Prince Charles, I hope I say these names correctly. On February 16th at Buckingham Palace, he received the Ambassador of Thailand, Mr. Thani Thongkhadi, and his wife. And then the ambassador of Oman, Mr. Baden Mohammed Ali Manthari. Very nice. Charles also was out today. He went to Christ the Cornerstone Church in Milton Keynes. I hope I'm saying that right. Apparently, there were several members of the public who were holding up placards that said, "You're not my king," or whatever. And they're reporting King walked right up and greeted people right in front of those people that were holding the placards, showing them that he really didn't care. That's what I love. You go, dude. All right, next up, Charles announced that, well, basically what happened was since the Queen has passed, there have been hundreds of patronages that need to be reassigned. Now, they're saying anything reassigned that Catherine might take on, we already know is going to have to do with children and early education. Anything that William takes on will more than likely be towards the environment, whereas Camilla is more into the medical. You know, she's all about the osteoporosis, which killed several members of her family. But yes, I think these patronages should be reassigned. They should just hop right on that. Okay, we're back to Harry and Meghan again and the coronation. And they're saying that Prince Harry is being really mean and cruel to the king. Because what the king did was quite smart. He gave him the invitation so they couldn't turn it into another victim thing. But then Harry and Meghan turned around and said, well, if you want us to come, you have to meet one big condition. Well, what's that condition? You have to meet with us. I think he's crazy to think that they would meet with him. You know, the royals are busy running around. They're going on engagements. They're reassigning patronages. All this stuff is going on. And what did I tell you guys? There will be no meeting. There's no time for a meeting. So let's see if Harry and Meghan swallow their pride and show up. That'll be interesting. All right, moving on. Really quickly, before we get into the meat of today, you should know that finally Harry and Meghan have been removed from the Commonwealth Trust website. Remember, when they were president and vice president, a position that was made just for Meghan by the Queen, when they were made that of the Commonwealth, then they stepped back, went to California, and basically told everybody that the Commonwealth was racist. Well, after they did the Netflix documentary and called it Empire 2.0, the palace finally removed them. Hopefully, next up, removal off of their website will be next. All right, moving on. All right, let's go back to the lawsuit, Markle versus Markle. We know that Samantha Markle appeared Wednesday in virtual court over the defamation case for her sister. We know that Meghan tried to stop depositions from happening in September, but was denied by a judge earlier this month. Now, the hearing was conducted via Zoom, and according to Samantha, the things that Meghan Markle said subjected her to humiliation, shame, and hatred on a worldwide scale. I have to agree. Samantha's attorneys pointed out that she's been caught. She lied about her education, that she was getting scholarships when actually her father paid for her education, and she got caught in that lie. She also lied and said that her sister lost custody of her 3 children. Come to find out, that was a lie. If you look at the document above, it says Meghan might have unintentionally inferred that Samantha lost custody of her kids. But yet here's the email that she sent to Knopf where she clearly says her sister lost custody of her kids. She didn't unintentionally say it. She claims Samantha changed her name back to Markle just when she started dating Prince Harry. That turned out to be a lie. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens if it makes it to the depositions. And as you can see above, Samantha started some more court document filings. Now, interestingly enough, Ellie Hall was live streaming on Twitter something that was forbidden by the court system. So Samantha has been made aware of it and is letting the judge know that that's what she was doing. And we all know that Ellie Hall works very closely with Christopher Boozy and Harry and Meghan. That's a big one. Everybody's been talking about it, and also the fact that Ellie Hall apparently didn't even speak correctly about what was going on in the courtroom. Well, GB News, of course, had something to say about all of this. Listen to this.
This is the fact that her sister, Samantha Markle, she appeared in court yesterday at a virtual court hearing. She's accusing her sister of defamation, basically using a false rags to riches narrative. This could end pretty badly for Meghan Markle, couldn't it?
Americans love rags to riches stories. They really do. They just don't like fake ones. And so, you know, now, I don't know if it's worthy of a libel case. I don't think the case will work, actually. But,
no.
but it doesn't mean that it's a good thing, you know. So I think this rags to riches argument she made, I mean, she went to Northwestern, very elite school, very hard to get into, was in a very exclusive sorority called Kappa, you know, the beautiful people sorority. The rags to riches thing is not going to fly. Didn't struggle through poverty. She didn't grow up in Watts in L.A. I mean, this is a bit of an exaggeration. And again, if it was true, I think Americans would love that, you know, the princess story, you know. But, you know, that's I think she's using that. She obviously likes to, you know, appeal to for pity, which is crazy. You know, everybody should, you know, I think many people would be quite envious of her.
Well, she casts herself as a victim repeatedly, doesn't she?
Loves the victim.
I'm telling you guys, I'm just waiting for this judge, because any way you look at it, I think the depositions will be worth their weight in gold. Okay, moving on. All right, you guys. South Park absolutely eviscerated Harry and Meghan. They're mocked, they're decimated, they're labeled Prince and his stupid wife. And the episode is called The Worldwide Privacy Tour. They're told that they're royalty from Canada. And they're illustrated to mirror, of course, the British royal family. And they go on this Canadian talk show. And the guy says, it's been several months since our beloved queen has died, and all Canadians are finding it hard to go on. All Canadians, that is, except for our first guest, the prince and his wife. And they walk out onto the stage and they're booed while they yell in privacy, "We want privacy, we want privacy." And they're holding up signs that say, "Stop looking at us, we want our privacy." I mean, it is hilarious. So the talk show host goes, "You lived a life with the royal family. You've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it in your new book. Wah." So the prince says, "That's right," and then automatically gets cut off. And the woman, the stupid wife, says, "I was totally like, you should write a book because your family's like stupid and they're so like journalists." And so the guy goes, "So you hate journalists?" And the couple goes, "Yes." And so the host says, "And now you wrote a book about the lives of the royal family." And the prince goes, "Right." And the host goes, "So you're a journalist?" And the wife interjects saying, "We just want to be normal people. All this attention is so hard." Their attention to detail, just in case there's any doubt about who they're talking about, is really just absolutely hilarious. I mean, they pulled pictures from everywhere. Thank you to Meghan's mole for this one. That's obvious. And thank you to the body language guy for this one. I mean, really? At one point, the little boy goes home and finds these magazine covers plastered all over the front of his house. And once again, if there's any doubt that they were talking about Harry and Meghan, although we know that there's really just no way that that's possible, that anybody could miss it, I'm telling you, if I were them, well, listen, you've made it when they make fun of you on South Park. You have made it to the big time when South Park picks you up. I mean, you guys, even the candle made a cameo, okay? Now, you guys know I love Kinsey Schofield. She had something to say about this. Listen to this.
Got your attention. It was the episode we've all been waiting for of South Park last night, featuring Harry and Meghan. Tell us all about it.
That's right. South Park. The internet is just all in agreement. South Park is back with a vengeance. Oh, I mean, the hashtag relatable. I mean, honestly, I think what is so great about South Park is that they typically, touch base with topics that are relevant in pop culture, but they explain it. So even though it's silly, they explain it so eloquently. What they're saying is these two are not sincere people. They say that they want their privacy while going on every television show, writing books, doing 6 hours of Netflix, and they basically broke it down and said these two people are not sincere. They're not very likable, and the people are tired of them.
And when you look at the name at the client database at the top left there, thank you again, Megan's Mole, you have to wonder what they know that we don't. It also shows Catherine being taken up in a ray of light. She is ravishing, pure of heart, strong of body, and hot of face. Nope, Catherine was not let off the hook, although every picture they put up of her was flattering and everything they said about her was fabulous. Of course. But they did show Harry and Meghan going from country to country on the World Privacy Tour, begging people to leave them alone as they run around on their private jet. I mean, they nailed it. You guys, they even had Oprah in there. And guess who else, in case you missed it? Tyler Perry. Oh my gosh. Mike Graham from Talk TV also had something to say about this. Listen to this.
You might remember from yesterday, we played a little clip from South Park, because South Park, a very successful animated series over in the United States of America. I think it's available on Comedy Central here. They've got a new series out, and they've started making fun of Harry and Meghan. Yesterday, the clip showed two little kids talking in a classroom about how they're sick to death of hearing about Harry and Meghan and how they don't want to hear any more. We're sick to death of the prince and his stupid wife. Was the quote. I would say the gloss may be coming off the Sussexes. Let's talk to Rupert Bell, Talk Radio's royal correspondent. Well, Rupert, I mean, I think that's rather good, isn't it?
It doesn't hold back, does it? Subtlety is not South Park's strong point. They go for the jugular, and they clearly have there. They clearly see. They have a very firm view of what they think of Meghan and Harry. They're the creators of the programme. And it is a view shared by many. Most of the population have got far more worrying and troubling things to deal with. And I think that's part of the problem, that Harry and Meghan just haven't read the room, and they think it's all about them.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen, my absolute favorite, Australia's Sky News. Listen to this.
Harry and Meghan have got the South Park treatment. The episode has just gone to air in the United States. And Harry and Meghan, well, they were treated like the prince and princess of me that they deserve to be. Oh, that's awesome. It continues with the appropriate skewering of them running around the world saying, please don't look at us, but look at us, don't look at us, please look at me.
So South Park, which, by the way, has been on television for 26 years, and they kicked the season off by criticizing Kanye West, or whatever he calls himself nowadays. Anyway, yeah, this is how Harry and Meghan have ended up in the United States. Moving on. All right, getting off of this, Harry and Meghan are apparently wanting to build up their U.S. business empire, and they've recruited a Hollywood broker. We've already talked about this. They met at Ellen DeGeneres' and wife Portia de Rossi's house. And what's going on is that they need money. They need lots of money. And this woman who's on the Loose Women panel says that she's very concerned. She said in The Sun that this Adam Ling what if he takes them on? Every time Harry and Meghan touch somebody, their crap goes down the drain. You know, people seem to think that Netflix handed them $90 million. They didn't. They have to produce things. So far, they've only produced one thing. So no, it's not going well for them. The money is drying up. They need money. All right, coronation's looming. Here we go. But here's a little bit of what you can expect to see. Harry and Meghan are on the guest list, but they're refusing to come unless they have a summit with the king first. But I think we all know very well that's not going to happen, and I guarantee you they're still going to show up. William is going to kneel down and pay homage to his father, and you're going to see William and the children, because they are, after all, next in line to the throne, and they deliberately emphasize the order of succession, so you're definitely going to see the kids there as well. Now, we know that Harry and Meghan and Andrew will not be on that balcony, but there's a chance that Princess Anne, Edward, and Sophie will be, because after all, they are working royals. But don't expect to see a whole lot of people who don't have an official role, like maids of honor and page boys and all of that stuff. I think it's going to be very exciting to see what Catherine is going to wear, to see what William is going to wear. We know that Charles is going away from traditional wearing, and he's going to be wearing something a little bit more upbeat, mainstream. This whole thing is just going to be unbelievably fabulous. All right, and I want to end this. You know, we've all heard the allegation that Meghan made or Harry made some sort of statement, we're only a plane crash away from the throne. Apparently, the Act of Settlement of 1701 confirmed Parliament determines who's going to take the throne. So even if there was a plane crash, they ain't taking it. And I told you before, if they ever tried to take it, the monarchy would be abolished in a second. All right, you guys, you know I want your comments. What happened with the Commonwealth? I want your thoughts on that. What do you think about the lawsuit? And what do you think about South Park? There's a lot there, so make sure to leave those comments. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell. Go ahead and double check. If you've already hit the button, make sure you're still subscribed. Go into the description box and you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.